Do you need to speak Swedish in order to live in Sweden and live a good life? Hello everyone, to give you a little bit of backstory, I have lived in Stockholm, Sweden for 6 months now, and I moved here from the UK. I am half Swedish, so I do speak some Swedish, but I have a lot of friends over here who speak no Swedish at all. And if you are someone who doesn't speak or understand Swedish, then I'm going to tell you whether it's okay to still live in Sweden or whether it will hinder you and people are not going to like it. So let's get into the video. So if you are thinking of moving to Sweden and you don't speak any Swedish, then it will obviously affect you in some ways, but in other ways it won't be a problem. So the first thing you need to ask yourself is, what kind of career do you want? So if you are really looking to build a career here, then it is very, very useful to understand and know some Swedish if you haven't just been transferred here from a different country. For example, if you have been transferred here because you work for a Swedish company and you've been transferred from the UK, then you don't need to learn any Swedish at all. The company are very, very helpful with that, and they do usually offer you free Swedish lessons as well if you do want to take them. If they offer you free Swedish lessons, then I would definitely take up that offer. However, if you are just wanting to move to Sweden because you want to move here, you're not being transferred, you really like the country, then is it crucial to know Swedish? So it really depends on what kind of job you want. If you are looking to work here in Sweden in a cafe, restaurant, bar, etc., then you do not need to know Swedish. It is not obliged for you to know Swedish. I work part-time in a cafe and I work with people who know no Swedish at all, and I have even worked with people who know minimal English, and it's actually okay, it's actually fine, and it works. So if that is something that is holding you back from moving here because you don't know the language and you want to get a really good part-time job, or you want to get a full-time job in the hospitality scene, then do not worry, it will not hold you back if you don't know the language. However, if you do want to build a career here in marketing for a good company, etc., then it is really important that you do know some Swedish, or that you are actively learning, because big companies like that are going to look for that. And if you are learning Swedish, then it obviously shows that you are interested and you want to put in the effort and you want to try. And I always think it is worth doing that, and I'm going to share with you how you can learn Swedish in Sweden for free towards the end of this video. It does depend on what job you want and whether you want to start a career here, and it also depends on what type of connections you want to make, whether you want to make friends with expats from Sweden, which is a lot of expats living in Stockholm, or whether you want to make genuine connections with Swedish people who run businesses, who are doing things, etc., etc. I know a lot about building connections because I do run my own business here, and I've been here for 6 months now. So a huge goal of mine was to build a network, was to make friends, and was to build those business connections. So that is why I refer to that a lot. But yes, it really depends on what kind of connections you want to make, because I have found that even though I know and understand and speak Swedish, I hardly ever speak it to my friends and to my business connections, because their English is so good and so high up there. We hardly ever speak Swedish, especially when it comes to business terminology, because that is not my strong point when it comes to my Swedish. I can have everyday conversations, but when it comes to career focused, business focused conversations, that's really challenging for me, and I will honestly just get lost. So if you are looking to build businessy connections like that, then your Swedish will not be a barrier. As long as you know English, then you won't be held back by it. So really think about what career you want. If you want a high level career, you're going to learn Swedish. If you don't, then you really don't need it, and what connections you want to make. But there are so many, like I said, so many expats here in Stockholm. So if you don't know Swedish, do not worry. Get in those expats group in Facebook. Get in all the expats groups. Organize meetups. Go for walk with people, meet people, have food with people, and get to know the expats in Sweden, because once you know those and once you have a really nice group, then that is all you need. So if you are thinking of moving to Sweden and you're asking yourself whether you need to know Swedish, then I will always recommend trying to learn the language. In whatever country you are thinking of staying in long term, it's definitely important, and I think it's really respectful to at least be trying to learn. And Sweden actually have a free place where you can learn Swedish. It is called Skatterverket, I'm pretty sure. I'm going to leave it here, and I'm going to leave a link to it in the comments below, where you can learn Swedish for free. And that is where I went to learn Swedish when I lived here back in 2018. I actually went there for a few months, but It's a little bit boring, it is, yes, but it's really good and it's free and you can learn there and you are with people and you can also make friends from those classes as well. It's like you're going to school again to learn a language. It's kind of nice. And you can also use the app Duolingo, which I also really like using and I really do recommend. It's super easy and the majority of it is free, so whether you are wanting to learn any language, download the app and just start to get the basics going, because if you know the basics, please, thank you, hi, how are you, I don't speak Swedish. If you know those basics, it really shows that you are respectful and you are learning, and I always recommend trying to do that. Overall, to sum up the video, I don't think you need to know Swedish in order to live in Sweden. There are a lot of nationalities in Sweden and a lot of people who don't speak Swedish, and if you are looking for a job, I don't think it gets in the way too much if you don't know the language. So as long as you are actively trying to learn and you are being respectful and being kind to people, the majority of Swedish people understand that you don't speak Swedish and they love speaking English. So don't put too much pressure on yourself. I promise you it won't get in the way too much. And yeah, just make good connections, make good friends, be honest about it if you don't speak Swedish. But yes, I don't think it will hinder you if you want to move here at all. I hope this video helped you. I hope it encouraged you to move to Sweden. If that is something you want to do let me know in the comments below. I've been here for 6 months now and I'm always happy to help with whatever I can in the comments. So yes, let me know and I will see you in the next video. Have a beautiful day, week, month, life. Bye!